I'm going to remember to hit record this time. I just hit it. Okay, so hopefully that works. Great. So to start, find a comfortable seated position. This can be on the floor. I know some of you do this class in a chair, in a seat. So just, if you are seated in a chair, beautiful. Just sit a little bit further from the back so you're not leaning up against the back of the chair. And it's just like there's a string pulling you from the crown of your head up towards the sky. So just imagine your spine elongating. Hands come to rest on the lap, on the knees, either hands down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On the inhale, shoulders rise, scrunching up towards the ears. And on the exhale, just let them drop down, audible sigh. Inhaling through the nose. And just allow the breathing to continue in and out through the nose if that's available for you. Eyes can close if that's comfortable. And we'll just take a moment here to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. And just become present to yourself here in this moment, in this space. And begin to allow sounds in from your surrounding area. Maybe the song of morning birds, or passing traffic. And ticking of the clock in the room. Letting it all in, all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. The weight of your hands on your knees. Begin to scan your body from head down towards toes, like passing through an X-ray machine, scanning for any points of tightness or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice and work into those spaces as we progress through our practice. You'll notice energetically where you're at in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready for bed. 10 being so full of energy that it's hard to sit still. And then shift that awareness up to the breath. Just observing inhales and exhales, no need to change it. And we'll shift the awareness up to the mind, allowing thoughts and emotions to bubble up without trying to herd or shepherd them. Just let them arise naturally and just watch them from a distance. Like clouds passing in the sky. And just notice, what are the quality of the thoughts this morning? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they one drawn out drama or fragments of thoughts? Not good or bad, not right or wrong, just something to notice. And we'll bring the attention back down to the breath. Anytime our mind begins to wander in class, we just rein it back in and reconnect with the breath as our anchor. Here we'll actively expand the breath, inhaling through the nose, belly expands. Next inhale fills belly and ribs. Exhale, ribs, then belly. Inhaling, fill belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. And inhaling, we fill all the way from almost the hips, the whole belly fills, ribs expand out horizontally, all the way up into the chest, almost into the collarbones, allowing the chest to rise. Full inhale. And exhale, releases in reverse, chest deflates, ribs zip in, and belly button pulls in towards spine. And anytime the mind wanders, bring it back to this breathing pattern. Taking an interest in your breath. Are there any sticky points within that pattern for you that are difficult to breathe into? Are you able to expand your belly on the inhale instead of pulling it in and puffing up your chest, which is a learned behavior as we grow? Naturally, we're all born breathing through our bellies. It's one of the reasons it helps relax us and return us to a state of parasympathetic mode in the nervous system. Rest and digest. And we can come back to this breath at any point in our practice today. Bring your hands to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, like prayer pose. No space between the fingers. And thumbs press into the sternum. Slight tuck of the chin. And here consider setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. Whatever first comes to mind. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Release your hands to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest. And left ear rolls over to left shoulder. Eyes can stay closed for this. We're just allowing the head to roll side to side, just beginning to open up the space between ear and shoulder. And the next time the head rolls through center, bring it up to neutral and begin to roll the shoulders forward. So really working into that space between the shoulder blades, opening the chest. And we'll roll the shoulders back. Alright, and coming to stillness in the shoulders, look over at your right knee, and then drop the chin towards the chest. And take the right hand, both hands, and just bring it behind the head. And just giving it a little push towards the right, not straight down. And we just want to open up this space between the left ear and shoulder. Let the shoulders melt away. There's no pressure in the shoulders. We're mostly using gravity for this. Relax any tension in the jaw. And releasing the neck. Look over right shoulder, left shoulder. And then looking over the left knee. Allow the head to drop, chin to drop. Hands come up behind the head. And that's a slight push with the right hand towards the left. But not a whole pull down, just let the gravity be enough. And then releasing the hands down, head comes up, look left, look right. Oh, I don't know, make this quiet. And then coming to center, just drop the ear left and right, or rather drop the head left and right. Nice. Back to center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, reaching tall. And exhale, bend over to the right. Exhaling for the bend. Inhale up through center. And exhale over to the left. We'll just connect that with breath, nice big sweeping motion, inhaling up and exhaling for that second half of that rainbow. Just opening up the side ribs. We'll meet up in center, straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand releases onto right knee. Chest opens towards side while right shoulder pulls back. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Following the breath, in to rise. It's not the deepest stretch, we're just nice gentle stretches in the beginning. It's not even, it's like early morning stretches. Really nice and gentle. It's not the deepest expression of any pose. Just moving into some new shapes. Next, we're going to bring it back to the middle. Release the legs out in front. Spread and scrunch the toes. Roll out the ankles. Bending in the knees, feet come max distance apart. We'll just drop the knees left and right. Knees are far enough apart that, or feet are far enough apart that the knees land on the ground, not on the other leg. Okay, so we're working on some feet, some leg stuff today. Let's do this instead. Let me raise this up. We're going to come into tabletop pose facing this direction. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Inhaling to cow pose, belly drops, hips and chest rise. And exhaling through cat pull, stomach in, chin tucks towards chest, rounding in the spine. Inhale through cow. Exhale through cat. Just continue at your own breath's pace. Let the speed of your body be informed by the length of your breath. Just nice, smooth, slow movement as we slow down our breath, trying to get the deepest breaths possible. And bring it back to center. Tabletop pose, neutral in the spine. Send the right leg back. Roll out the ankle. I'm going to drop down onto the left forearm. So elbow to wrist, the left arm releases down. Bend in the right knee, and we're just drawing circles with this right knee. So we're just working out all the clicks and cracks and all of that right in the beginning. Change direction, so it can be large or small, same to your own hips. So a lot of the tension that we build from sitting all day is in our hips. All right, pick that hand back up, and then I'm going to turn this way just so you guys can see what I'm up to. But we're still on the right leg. So we're gonna lift the leg up, and then it's a slow side kick out. Back and back. Okay. So right leg lifts straight out to the side. Slow motion side kick. Bend in the knee, foot comes back towards the butt. Knee lowers down, but I'm not even touching it down on the ground. I'm just knee touch. Got 3 more like that. Exhale for the side kick. Inhaling, bring it back in and down. And raise. So we're strengthening the side hip muscle and glute muscle. Okay. As the leg comes out here, touch the foot down. So your right leg's out, so touch that foot down. Walk the hands in and up. So this is called gate pose. Right foot out, right leg out, foot flat on the ground, toes are facing you. My back knee, or my left knee, I'm just kneeling on. Arms sweep up overhead on the inhale. And exhale, bend over to the right. No pressure on this hand. If anything, you can keep it up or put it on the hip. We just don't want to press on the knee. So just opening this whole side area. For more of a challenge, you can bring the hands up, interlace them, just index finger releases. This is just fine too. Then like a cartwheel, left hand touches down, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Flex through this foot. Okay, this is a challenge here. Lift this leg up. So this whole side right leg has to be engaged to make that happen. We're just gonna touch down to rise up. Down, and it's not as high as you can go, right? It's just level. So control. 3, 2. I'm gonna make all that stop, but it's okay. 1. So holding here for full breath. There is a payoff. Touch the foot down. Top hand comes down. Walk the hands towards me. So now I'm gonna kneel with the leg out. I'm just gonna press back and forward, stretching out this whole inner right hip. So from the side, just going back and forward. You don't have to go as deep as that, but direction makes sense. Forward. So just opening up this whole right side hip after strengthening it. So just do these strengthening movements to help build stability. And these flexibility stretches to build some resilience. So you're going to find a spot along this trajectory. It could be forward, halfway, or back. I like tucking my toes under and pressing back. Still have this leg out. And we're just going to rest here in like the deepest part of the stretch for you, wherever it feels good. So it should feel intense but good. And we just got 2 big deep breaths here. As hands press into the ground, we just bring that knee in for tabletop. I'm going to face this way, so I did the other leg last time. I'm going to send the left leg up and back and roll out the foot. Drop down onto the right forearm, so my elbow to wrist is on the ground. Bend in the knee and draw circles with this hip, or rather with this knee. Change directions, fast or slow, big or small. It's up to you. One side might be different than the other. It's okay. There's not like a good hip and a bad hip or any of that. Like, I invite you to just let go of any languaging you have like that about your body. It's really just one thing. Like, it's all connected. There's not like one hip and then the other. Just whatever they're doing today is just fine. Let that knee touch down and press back up until tabletop pose. So that same leg, your left leg. We're just raising it up to the side. Slow motion extend. Foot comes in, and knee comes down. So trying to keep the shoulders over the wrists. It's really like tempting to go like this. And keep the shoulders over the wrists. Extend, back, and down. We got 3 more. Lift, extend, bend, lower. Lift, extend, bend, lower. Last one. I lied, we have half of one left because we gotta extend it to drop it. Walk the hands in, shoulders up over the hips. For our gate pose, toes are facing you. Arms sweep up on the inhale. Then we gotta bend over to the left. Hand can be on the hip or up to the side. And we're breathing into these intercostal muscles, the spaces between the ribs. So we're doing this strength work so that it's easier to get into the stretch into the legs later. And kind of give them some fatigue, some like oxygenated blood, some efforting. They're more cooperative later. One more breath here. Bring it up through center. Right hand releases down, left arm up towards the sky. Flex through the left foot. And lift. You can point the toe or flex it. Whatever feels natural to you. Just pick one or the other so it's intentional positioning. And toe taps and lifts. Taps and lifts. So really building these side body muscles. Just got 2 more. Good work. This touches down. Bring the hands down and forward. Now here we're just going to press forward and back, working into the inside of this left hip. Finding a place along this trajectory that feels good to you, feels like a nice deep stretch. I'm just going to hold it there. We got 3 deep breaths here. And the hands press into the ground. We'll bring it back up to table. You can tuck the toes under and sit back. Take a sip of water. Grab blocks if you didn't have a chance to earlier. If you would like to use some blocks, they can be really helpful. If you don't have yoga blocks, I don't even have yoga blocks. You can use like stacked DVDs or books. What are DVDs? And they might come in handy in this next position. I'll grab some to demonstrate. History lesson. This is a DVD. Alright. So, if you're doing it this way, just find an even stack on both sides of books or your blocks. I like them on the lowest level because it's the most stable, but you see what works for you. Alright, so here we are in tabletop pose. Let's actually just step it up. So I'm just behind the blocks. I'm bringing my feet hips distance apart. Bring my hands onto the blocks, and then just bend one knee and then the other. I might grab opposite elbows for ragdoll, letting my head nod yes. And my head shake no. And the whole body sway side to side. And coming back to the middle, I'm going to roll all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands through heart center, chin tucks towards chest, and you roll down one vertebra at a time. Let the arms release. And we're coming all the way down. And we're going to roll back up twice like that. So it's okay for the knees to be a little bent, but see how straight you can get them. It's okay if your hands don't touch down. Just let the head be heavy. Arms be heavy. Roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, arms sweep up, reaching tall. Exhaling, hands through heart center. Chin tucks towards chest. Begin to roll it back down. When you get to your lowest point here, we'll inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down to the ground. Right foot takes a giant step back. Bending in the left knee is going to make that easier. Drop your right knee down to the mat. You can bring your blocks back so that we can come up right. So if your hands don't reach the blocks, you can bring it to a higher height, or bring your right knee a little bit further back. Left knee stays over left ankle no matter what. So whether my knee's in like this, or my knee's back like this, somewhere in the middle, this knee alignment never changes. So it's called Anjaneyasana. It's a low lunge. We're going to go from this movement, or this position, to a half split, which is the hips go up and back, and the left leg straightens out. You can roll onto your heel. Here, so you can see, you can windshield wiper side to side. I'm making this part look like really simple, but this might be, like, if you're here, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. You're just working towards opening up this back area of the leg. So, we're going to connect this to breath. Just in the beginning, just some dynamic movement. Inhaling, bend in the left knee, chest rises. Exhaling, extend the left knee, left leg, hips get sent back. To get a deeper stretch here, it's like a Donald Duck butt. You're popping your lower back a little bit out, but you'll feel it by the time you get there. So Inhaling, we bend and rise. Maybe the arms lift. Exhaling, we send it back to straighten. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Twice more like this. I'm going to hold it back here, but not hold the breath. So I'm pulling my toes in towards my nose, flexing that foot, and sending the hips up and back. And still, this hip stays over this knee. Don't bring it down to the ground. It's tempting. If anything, pull the left hip back and the right hip forward a bit to keep them nice and square. If you're a runner, you have tight IT bands. You can actually play with bringing your right hand over to the left side of this foot. Okay. And as you walk further and bend into it, you'll actually move the stretch over. If you're in a place where the knee is here, beautiful, you're perfect where you are. Don't do the twisting thing. Be more of a balance challenge than anything else. So we got one more deep breath here, really fold it over, almost like your nose is gonna touch your toes. Nostrils facing this way. Awesome. Okay. And bend in that knee. Right toes tuck under. Hands come flat onto the ground. Send the left foot straight up towards the sky. Three-legged dog. You can bend in that knee. Stack left hip over right hip. And then place the foot back down. Downward facing dog. Bending one knee and then the other. Just taking a moment to kind of find yourself in this posture. Let your head hang heavy, eyes stay open. You can look between your ankles or look between your knees. Fingers spread wide. This is another one of those postures that we're tilting the hips forward. So it seems like you would want to point your butt straight to the sky, but actually you want to bring it up and back. We'll look up between the hands, bend deep in the knees, step or hop forward. You can take a couple steps up too. Inhale, halfway lift, big toes come to touch. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground or blocks. Left foot takes a giant step back. Remember, bending in the right knee is going to make that step back a lot more stable. You can gently touch your left knee down to the mat. Bring your blocks back. They help on one side, probably they'll help in the other. And we're setting this up for our low lunge. Right knee stays over the ankle. Whether you're here, more of like a proposal pose, or you're back here, more of a deep stretch for that left hip. Inhale here. We exhale, send the hips up and back. Finding your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So here, you can give your foot a little windshield wiper side to side, pointing and flexing, just kind of exploring this positioning. Let my hips sway side to side a bit too, just in this beginning part. Alright, now that I found my spacing, bring it forward on the inhale, and back on the exhale. Inhaling, hips press forward, chest rises, maybe arms rise. Exhale, send back, and straighten. Following your own breath's pace. One more just like this. We'll hold it here in this Ardha Hanumanasana half split pose. So I'm digging my heel into the ground for friction and sending my hip up and back. So it's not like the full extremist shape possible, but that's the direction of the energy, so I can feel that nice deep stretch in the hamstrings. If you're feeling it in your knee, then just don't feel like you have to press down on your knee or anything like that. You want to be stretching the belly of the muscle here and avoiding, the joints don't really need to be stretched out, because once those are stretched out, you can't really unstretch them. So let's avoid that. And just be kind. If you find yourself stuck in a place where you are only feeling it in your joints, then you really want to just avoid, then you really want to not worry about these static stretches so much. And you can just keep moving a little bit from less bent to a little bit more bent to make it work. If you did that side stretch on the other side, you can check it out on this side as well. We've got one more breath here. And walking the hands forward, bend in the right knee, hands come flat onto the ground, tuck left toes under and send the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog, straight up towards the sky, bend in the knee, stacking right hip over left hip, still the hands are connected to the ground. And then the foot touches down to the ground for our regular downward facing dog, finding your spacing here. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And looking up between the hands, bend the knees, step, tiptoe, or hop up to the top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift, big toes touch. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale brings you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment here, just grab your block, if you have one, if you've been using one, and place it right in the middle in the front of your mat. Or front right, just so it's conveniently there. Inhale and sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Right foot takes a giant step back. Little bend in the left knee. That's the trick. Then drop the right heel down to the ground. Right arm sweeps up over and open, bringing you up for warrior two. So my shoulders are over my hips, left knee over left ankle. My right foot is facing you. I'm pressing into the pinky side edge of this foot, pressing into the heel of this foot. My hips are pressed forward. So from the side, it looks like this. I'm not sticking my butt out or tucking it all the way in, just straight. Nice. And then arms reach out like the letter T. You can look over this left fingertips. So, staring directly over the left fingertips at the horizon where you imagine the sky would meet the water. It's called your drishti, or focal point. We've spoken about it a little bit before. So we're strengthening this leg. Just got one more breath here. You can do it. Then release, straighten out the leg, arms come up overhead. And exhale, hands back down to the letter T. Squeeze the muscle in this leg. You might even walk this foot in a couple inches, 6 inches. Squeeze this leg so much that you feel the knee lift. Engaged. We're going to reach all the way to the left with the hips like a, what is this little game? Yeah, like the teacup. So I'm reaching, letting my right hip pull back. And then just the left hand releases down onto that block. Right arm towards the sky. Or this bottom hand presses into the inside of the left shin, left calf, to press the chest open. So imagine you're between two panes of glass. And there's a lifted tight feeling. So I can reach the ground, right? But instead of that being the stretch, I'm letting some strength come into the practice by engaging these side muscles that we were strengthening and stretching earlier. So it's like a lifted tight feeling that someone's pulling me up towards the sky, helping me out. Got a full breath here. Trikonasana, triangle pose. And bend in this knee, bring it back. Awesome. Okay, so this block, I'm gonna place it down so it's just maybe 6 inches in front of my left foot. Okay. Back to warrior two. I'm gonna look down at this block. Into warrior two. This hand comes down just like a half cartwheel. And begin to lift this back leg up for our balance pose today. Just like we played with before, I'm lifting this leg up, squeezing it tight, I'm pointing the toe, or I'm flexing the heel. It's like I'm pressing against this back wall for support. This top hand has that lifted tight feeling like I have a friend pulling me up towards the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. I'm letting my bottom foot wiggle around just a little bit to compensate for this shift in balance and in weight. Crown of the head's reaching towards the front. Top leg's reaching towards the back. My top hand and my bottom foot are also reaching in opposite directions. So it's like a 4-direction pull. We bring it back to warrior two. How's your landing? That was awesome. Okay, great job. It is not an easy pose. So wherever you're at, if you tried, you like literally win. You won. Inhaling, left arm up towards the sky, side bend. Did this earlier too. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your front foot, rolling onto the toe ball mat under the right foot. We'll step it up to the top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Left foot takes a giant step back. Drop the left heel to the ground. And then cartwheel the arms open to warrior two. I'm going to turn so I can see you. You might have to turn to see me too. So just to repeat, right leg is in front, left leg is in back. If I were to draw a line from my heel straight back, it would intersect the middle of the arch of my back foot. Okay. Knee stays over the ankle, doesn't leave that position. Arms rise to the letter T, reaching forward and back. Hips are slightly tucked, so I'm engaging my abdominal muscles. Nice and strong. Squeeze your glutes. You'll feel, if you just relax your butt muscles right now, it's just sloppy, it's everywhere, it's way harder. Squeeze your glute muscles, tucks this all in. There's some stability there. So you might not be able to keep those engaged the entire pose, but that's what we're working towards, that endurance. So if you can flex it in the first place, you're starting from a great spot. If you can't, you're like, I don't know how to do that, we'll get there. We're just building it up right now. There's always more to go. There's not really anywhere to arrive in these positions. There's always more. Always more to come. Yes, I am conveniently talking through this very difficult pose, so if you're still in it with me, you're great. You're a warrior. Virabhadrasana would be proud. Okay. So we're looking over this right fingertips. Oh, I don't know how to stop. Don't do that. We've got one more deep breath here. And a nice release. Whew. Straighten that out. Here, I'm going to let this hip pop out. Because like a tilt. Right hip drops, left hip pops up. But the arms reach, 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 reach. Then the right hand releases down. Right? So my body's still going straight out. I'm not letting myself bend. Just the arm comes down. Presses into the inside of the calf. Left arm up towards the sky. Chest parallel to the wall. Still, I'm squeezing the muscles of the leg, trying to lock that knee in place. That's another one that maybe you can't squeeze it the entire time, but as soon as you let it relax, give it a moment, and then just bring it right back. Building up that endurance. This bottom hand can also be on top of the block at any level. That lifted type feeling, even if you know you can make it to the ground. That's okay. That's great. But today we're working on the strength this side, so we can work on the stretch in the legs. Last deep breath. Trikonasana triangle pose. And this is important. Bend in that front knee to come back to warrior two. Look down at the block, just past your foot. Give it a little space. And then like a cartwheel, hand touches down, back leg lifts. So I'm engaging this whole top leg, pressing through the heel, imagining there's a wall behind, just directly behind my foot. If this top hand's super exhausting and the shoulder's bothering you, you can bring the hand onto the hip, and then you can actually feel oh, am I turning in? Because I actually want to be opening out, stacking left hip over right hip. Like this one's just the icing on the cake. You want all cake with some icing, not all icing with some cake, right? And if you're feeling really good in this, you can play it just like with the other one that we played with earlier, with that bottom hand. And it's all good to fall out of poses all the time. It's part of the practice. Getting back in is part of the practice. Just last breath here. Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. Bend in that front knee. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. We're just bending away from the bent knee. Cartwheel the hands down. We're going to step it back. Lower the knees. Big toes touch, knees come out wide. Child's pose. Sending the hips back, so letting my butt touch down to my feet or close to it. That's the direction. It's okay if they don't. And just let the head come down. You can give your head a little rock side to side, give your forehead a little massage. We're going to bring it back up to our tabletop pose. We've got a couple, two more stretches, and then our Shavasana. So here we'll raise the right arm up. Do it this way. Right arm reaches up. And on the exhale, weave it through for thread the needle. So I'm dropping my right shoulder down to the ground, the right side of my head down to the ground. The left hand comes onto the ground to push it away, opening this left shoulder. Bear twist. Hips stay over knees. Press the bottom arm more or less into the ground to give the shoulders a nice stretch. And if it feels good, you can extend the left leg. So I just keep my toes on the ground for the beginning. And then if it feels good, slowly levitate that leg up. You'll see, depending where you put it, it changes the pressure of where the stretch is on the neck and shoulder. Bringing the foot down. If it's up, sweep the right arm up. The hand touches down. Left arm sweeps up. Exhale, weave it through. Coming to land on the left shoulder, the left side of the head. Hips stay over the knees. And this right hand presses the ground away, leaving the chest nice and open. So breathing in, finding that, finding the nice stretch on the side of the neck, shoulder. Maybe the right leg extends straight here. Maybe it begins to levitate. It's just slowly floating up. Any quick movements, you'll end up rolling over, which is okay. You can avoid that by moving nice and slow. And slowly float the foot back down to the ground. Pressing the right hand into the ground, left arm sweeps open. And let that hand touch down. Let the hips relax down or dropped off to one side. Give the knees a hug in. A little rock side to side. Let the knees fall over to the right. Left arm opens up like the letter T. Right hand comes to land on top of the knees. For a supine twist, reclining twist. Supta Matsyendrasana. Then head comes up through center, knees come up through center. Let the knees fall over to the left. Right arm opens up to the right, like the letter T, working the right shoulder down towards the mat. And we're just looking over the right shoulder to give the neck or to give the spine a complete twist. Bring the head up through center, bring the knees up through center. And just notice if there's any last movements, stretches, or wiggles that would feel good to you in your body right now. Go ahead and just roll right through them, whatever they might be. As we prepare for our Shavasana, final relaxation pose, you might grab a blanket to put over your body, take a sip of water. And gently we'll find your way onto your back. I'll be seated up just so I can speak to you. So reclining on your back, give yourself a full body stretch. And then releasing your arms down by your sides, palms face open to the sky, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the benefits of your effort today. Let your feet land at least a foot apart from one another, legs so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open to the sides. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, and we'll take 3 cleansing breaths, just like in the beginning of class, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And allow the breathing to continue just through your nose if that's available. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets. And the space between the eyebrows broadens. As all the muscles in the forehead relax. All the muscles of the face and head relax, surrounding the ears. The throat and neck relax. The shoulders melt away as they support you. And upper arms and elbows release. Forearms and wrists relax. And hands, palms, fingers, knuckles, fingertips all full of potential. Rest. Upper back, middle back, lower back, relax, melting heavier into the ground. Chest and belly naturally rising and falling with the breath. And the hips, pelvis, and glutes rest heavy, relax. And upper legs and knees release. Lower legs and ankles relax. Heels, arches, toes, tops of the feet. Relax. Whole body heavy. Whole body resting. Whole body resting. Notice if in your mind, if even just for a moment the thoughts have quieted. Notice if in your breath there's more ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space, and the places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. Know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's the good news. Begin to deepen your breath, allowing that feeling of heaviness to be replaced with a feeling of lightness and openness. As you begin to invite movement back into your body, wiggling fingers and toes. Let your head gently rock side to side. And arms can reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Knees can hug in towards the chest. Roll over to one side, whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below you. Take a moment to recall any intention or dedication you set for class today. And if that intention serves you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. Gently press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to one another. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that something in this class served you and takes you, and you can take it with you into the rest of your day. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great Sunday. The last week of the year, I think less than that, right? The last few days of the year. I think a lot of us are ready for this year to be over. Are looking for some symbolic reset. So, New Year's always pulls through and provides for that, doesn't it? So I'm thinking for New Year's, doing maybe, you're welcome, thank you for coming, namaste my friend. I'm thinking in January of doing like a daily yoga thing. Was that helpful? Yeah, did that feel good on your on your legs? Try to get a little like shoulder stuff in there, but we hadn't done much leg stuff before, so I thought it would be a nice, it was a little fiery, more fiery of a class today. Or if it was more difficult, but it was more like strength, building strength today than relaxing as much as we usually do, but I think changing it up a little bit class to class is good. You got a really good hamstring stretch, feels really nice. Yes, good. You're welcome. You're welcome, Linda. So yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing this every day in January. Maybe just for the first 15 days. And of course, there's like no pressure to come through, but then it's like any day that you are up at this time, because I'm going to be practicing every day anyway, so I don't know, I kind of feel like might as well do it with you guys, and yeah, we'll see. Because yeah, I think I'm going to keep going. I remembered to hit record today, so if that goes, if that actually happens and actually records, then I'll be putting out another video and just keep having them available for people. I don't know how to turn this off yet, but it's like my Christmas present from what's it called? So yeah, I haven't figured out how to use it yet, but I'm just figuring it out. But help me keep time today. So yeah, I know we go. I think I need to be clearer because we move for 60 minutes, but then we still have our nice long meditation at the end. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I'm really open to feedback on the timing and everything, because I don't count our meditations into the class. So I'm like, it's a 60-minute class, but it's not really. It's a 60-minute movement, and then we have like probably 20 minutes of meditation. So I don't know, I think that's equally important. I think I I'm afraid to freak people out and tell them it's like an hour and a half long class, because it's not really an hour and a half, it's like 75 minutes, you know? But I'm free all day, so it's okay if it's longer. Okay, awesome, great. Yeah, I think I started like 5 minutes late today too, because I just wanted to chat a little bit, but I should have come on 5 minutes early to chat. So, don't worry, we're working it all out best we can, right? But yeah, I will be here. Well, let me look up the calendar. Okay, so looking at a calendar. Yeah, the first is on Friday, so who's going to be up at 8:30 on Friday? I mean 11:30. But you want to start the year off right? I'm probably going to still be awake from the night before. We'll figure it out. I think I text all of you guys. I think I have all of your guys' numbers, so I'll let you know. But I'm not going to be annoying and text you every single day, I promise. But I'll keep messaging you on Sundays to invite you. But you're invited every other day as well, starting this next weekend. So, yeah. Much love, my friends. I'm always around to answer questions. Honestly, I'm like friends or family with I think like everybody here. So like also like call me to talk and hang out. I love you very much. I love that we have a coast to coast yoga class. It means a lot to me to have all of you guys here. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Sunday, rest of your year. I'll see you next year and all that. And yeah, much love, my friends. Bye.